Welcome back to another episode of Excuse My Grandma. It's Kim and my co-host,
Grandma Gail.
Grandma, this week I honestly felt like the Bachelorette because I had so many dates, and it was fitting because the Bachelorette premiered this week.
Well, I hope your dates came off better than the ones I saw on television. I cannot believe what I watched last night under duress, under your instructions that I had to watch this.
Well, I asked our followers if they would want to hear us do a Bachelorette recap, and they said that they did, so I told you to watch it. Was this the first time you ever watched an episode?
This was the first time I ever watched an episode. I occasionally, because you talked about it when you did lots of reviews on The Bachelor, I did listen to you, and I always thought that was terrible. But this was about the low point of my television watching.
And it's not even trashy compared to other reality TV.
Well, I don't watch reality TV. I felt really so sorry for these people. These are like people who have no lives. I really actually thought the young men who were trying to attract this Bachelorette, I think you should give some background on this, Kimmy, before we start talking about it.
Okay, so basically, this season was different than any other season for multiple reasons. One, no Chris Harrison, who was the host.
Well, he got axed because of a situation that there was something going on behind the scenes on the, I guess, was it The Bachelor?
He said some racially insensitive comments. So basically, Chris was no longer the host of the show. They brought in two girls, past Bachelorettes.
Correct.
So they
looked ridiculous.
Why?
They were peering through windows.
Yeah.
And looking at the what was going on. It was like this. I have to honestly say, I don't know who they're gearing these programs for. Is it people who are searching for love? Are they people who are completely? I don't think they've ever graduated high school.
I mean, the people.
I mean, they were dressed up as a kitten. One came in a box. Well, I mean, these guys got to get a life.
Well, they clearly are doing it. So every year, I guess this is the first time you watch. But every year they do the limo entrances, right?
Right.
She stands. They come out. Some of them do like these jokey kind of entrances. They either make a joke about something, or they come in a weird kind of automobile. They make an entrance in a weird way to differentiate themselves. Otherwise, 30 men are going up to you saying, "Hi, I'm Jake," and you don't remember any of that.
And first of all, why? And the concept is ridiculous. Why would a woman degrade herself and have 30 men coming to date her?
Wait, why is that degrading? That's empowering.
It's not empowering at all.
She's not having sex with them.
I thought it was so awful. I thought the girl is awful. She's letting herself into a relationship. She wants to get engaged by the end of this program. Are you kidding me? They're guys who are 25 and 26. Half of them don't know what they're doing in their lives, and they're going to get engaged to this girl. The funniest thing was their pants. If you looked at their outfits, they all must have been dressed by the same dresser. They all had short pants, some with socks, some without socks. They looked like they came out of, well, that's the only thing I noticed out of the whole program. And she was so busy with her red dress, kissing everybody. It's so
Do you think
phony.
She looked good?
She's attractive. She's an attractive woman, but for an attractive woman, why does she? I know it's a moment of fame, and it's a step for her, perhaps in a career, but it's certainly not going to be a step to getting married.
Why can you find love over a dating app, but you can't find it on a reality TV show?
Well, first of all, because maybe 20 million other idiots are watching this, and that would be, it's pretty ridiculous and judging.
But I'm saying, why couldn't she find love? You can find love by bumping into someone on the street and dropping your phone.
Why couldn't she find love just going out on a date in private? Who needs to watch every step of what she's doing? I mean, it's really reduces relationships to a very, I think it's sexist. I actually,
but they have The Bachelor and The Bachelorette.
I know. I think
switch.
they're both. One is anti-women. One is anti-men. This is like emasculating a man. I thought
I don't understand. I know a lot of people have that perspective, which is why the show, you know, it might also be on its way out.
It should be on its way out. I barely made it through the first hour.
But clearly it has an audience. You know, it's called Bachelor Nation. I'm a proud member. And like people really are cult following. They get together every Monday night. They watch it. They go online.
Because they have no life. Because they don't have a life.
But I watch it, so I don't have a life.
If you watch this on a steady diet, this is no life. This is so sad. I mean,
but why can't it just be entertainment the same way you watch your shows?
It's entertainment, but it's entertainment at the cost of somebody crying. They're crying. This one's weeping. This one, she's telling him, if you can't have a relationship, get out. I mean, you know what? This is all, and it's all broadcast on television, where I am guaranteed a lot of this is scripted. I can't imagine they come up with these things, these poor guys, unless somebody's coaching them and telling them what to do. The funniest one was the virgin. Who cares that he's a virgin? I mean, you know, he's 30 some odd years old and he's a virgin, announcing it on television in front of 20 million people.
So basically, a few seasons ago, we had Colton, who was a bachelor, who was a virgin. I don't know if you followed.
How did that work? How did it
work?
He
just came out. He's gay.
Good for Colton. I'm glad he came out, because he certainly.
But that's not to say, obviously, not everyone who is a virgin. There's of course religious reasons,
and there are also very good reasons. They might want to save it for the one they love, but not somebody who's one of 30 guys on a show.
Yeah, you know what you're signing up for.
Exactly. That's pretty strange. And I don't know. Do they actually have sex on this show?
So basically, not. If we were following the rules of what the show says, they don't have sex until the fantasy suites, which is like the second to last episode, I want to say, where there's only 3 guys left.
All right.
And so at that point,
you're sleeping with 3 guys and deciding who tickles your fancy.
Correct.
Okay.
You don't it's not explicit, obviously, but it's a night where the cameras don't get to come in and they have an overnight sleepover, and like obviously.
Oh, here goes the sleepover again.
I know.
We're back to a sleepover.
If I was the Bachelorette, I would be like, you can stay, but please leave by midnight. I need to get a good night's sleep.
Thank heavens you'll never be on the Bachelorette. This would be
I applied, you know.
Oh my gosh. If you applied to this, I feel so sorry for you. This is really degrading for men and for women. I think it's an equal opportunity degradation. And I almost don't understand the fascination, except that people are home. They're evidently bored with their own lives.
But this, I mean, the show is on its 20-something season. This isn't a
because
COVID thing.
I know this is a cult thing. I understand that, but I think it's wrong.
Okay.
I think it's wrong from every perspective.
Let's go back a little bit to Katie. So
that's the Bachelorette.
Bachelorette.
Right.
There's actually 2 Bachelorettes this year, which is the first time they're doing this. Usually it goes Bachelorette then Bachelor, Bachelorette then Bachelor. They're doing 9 months straight of Bachelor programming this year.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
everybody, this is a big snooze.
I'm so excited. I'm never going to be bored, because there's going to be 2 Bachelorette seasons, and there's going to be Bachelor in Paradise, which is a bunch of singles. They go to Mexico, then they go back to the Bachelor. But I don't know why they chose 2 Bachelorettes this year. Katie, and then after there's going to be this girl Michelle, both who were on Matt's season, who was the previous Bachelor. I don't know why they did it. It seems strange to me.
Well, evidently there's somebody watching the women more than the men. They like it.
I don't think it was about like analytics.
I am sure it's about who's being sponsored by their sponsors. They must have somebody that said, push the women. It's selling more toothpaste, whatever the answer, whatever it is that they're selling. But I have to tell you, I don't know how old this Bachelorette is.
She's 31.
She's 31. And the guys last night were basically
mixed.
25, 26, and then there were a couple of 30-year-olds.
I saw some 35-year-olds. I was actually surprised because the guy that she gave her first impression rose to. Did you make it that far?
No, I couldn't. I didn't. I cut off when the present came into the living room, the large box.
Wait, did you get to see who was in the present?
No, I don't care.
Oh.
Who was in the present?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, what?
No.
Oh, and then I'm sorry I turned it off.
I know, I'm kidding. No, it was just this guy, but he was good looking.
All right. Well, they were all nice-looking young men.
Yeah.
They were all nice. There was nothing wrong with any of them. It was just, I don't see, none of them were fabulous. Half of them didn't have jobs, or they were just starting out. One was, I don't know what they were. One was a captain.
Actually, one was a surgical skin salesman. What is that?
Well, he's probably selling like acne medicine.
Surgical skin salesman? Isn't that a strange job?
I don't know. Now, there are no strange jobs in this world anymore. There must be something that he does, maybe something with pre-op equipment that he sells. I mean, I have no idea. None of it was terrific. None of them are running for president of the United States or a senator of New York. So,
well, you never know. We had a reality star turn president.
That's true. That's true. That was a reality.
Yep.
That was a show.
So you never know. The next Bachelorette could be the president.
Well,
but basically, with Katie, her whole shtick was sex positivity, if you could notice that.
She was very up about talking about sex.
Yes. That is because when she was on The Bachelor, she, as her limo entrance, brought a dildo.
Oh, God.
And was like, this kept me quality time during quarantine, and like made a joke, whatever. Then that was literally her only defining factor. I remember nothing else from her.
So evidently the Bachelor didn't pick her.
No.
Okay. So
he picked Rachel, who had the issues with
Chris
Harrison.
This is so confusing.
Okay.
This is
it's in the weeds. It's in the weeds.
I think we have to skip forward to not doing the particulars. What do we really get out of this show? I mean, what do you really get that gets people hooked on this show? I can't figure it out. I mean, I was looking at it and I was thinking, why do young people want to sit and watch this on TV, on a large screen? What's the attraction?
Well, I wrote my college thesis on this.
Well, wasn't it on
The Bachelor?
Oh, it was on
Housewives and Kardashians. Clearly, there's a fan base. Clearly, it makes a lot of money. There's an audience. So why is the question?
That's what I want to know. Why is the audience?
I think there's a lot of parts to it. One is the formula. It works and it brings back, they don't change it much, and they have Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, and they're pretty much the same every season, and they have people coming back to it, and they really don't change much. And there's these unspoken rules in Bachelor Nation. For example, we refer to people, let's say there's two Connors on this season. One is Connor B and one is Connor whatever the initial is. I don't remember his last name. In the Bachelor world, we'll forever refer to him as Connor B. Like, you just keep the last initial. There's just unspoken things, and it creates a community and a fan base, and you feel like you're part of something.
Well, I think that's the answer. You feel like you're part of something, because there is no reason why somebody sitting at home on their couch eating popcorn gets so invested in these characters or these contestants.
It's another way to relate to people. For instance, I went on a date last night, and the guy was like, oh, I watched The Bachelorette. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could talk about that for 10 hours. And it's another thing to relate on if you watch the same show as somebody, because it's not even that you watch the same show. You've watched every season of this show. You know everyone in the Bachelor community. It's just another thing to talk about with people, and you feel like you know them, and you feel like that's another part, I think, why it's popular. We're sitting on our couch. Any one of those contestants could be us. But they're in their 20s.
I think the truth is that people are getting vicarious thrills through the TV.
Correct.
They're really not experiencing their own relationships at this point. They're sitting there and viewing what's on, clearly a popular program on national television that's promoting some kind of dating service. I don't know what it could be for these people, other than their 15 minutes of fame.
Well, I think it's an emotional learning experience, which was part of my thesis too. Of you see these people, let's say they get in a major fight about something, you learn through that without actually having to do it. Oh, I would never say that kind of thing. Look how it turned out. Look the way they fight. You kind of like get your I don't want to say fantasies because sometimes they're negative, but they play out on TV almost so like you live through it. You don't have to do it yourself.
But life doesn't work like that. You have to live through your own experiences to have a relationship. You can't live through these people on television, which is so many people are doing now, and expect that to happen to you. First of all, no one's pulling up to your apartment or house with 30 limos with guys coming out all in tailored suits kissing you on both sides.
But you're right. Obviously, you're also not going on these dates that they go on later in the season, taking a helicopter to a private island. You're not doing that. But let's put this in perspective for a second. I've gone out with 30 plus men since being single. Same as her.
Yes, but at different times. You're not dating them all in the same week. I mean, you get a breather in between them, and hopefully, Kimmy, with each person you date, you learn something for the next person that either you like about somebody or you don't like about somebody. But it isn't, what would you say, all crowded into a week
competition.
A week competition. First of all, it's not a competition. You're dating because you want to go out.
That's actually interesting. Like, in real life, is dating a competition?
Well, it depends what you're in there. We've discussed this. I don't know what you're in there dating for. If you're dating just to date and to like somebody the best, then maybe it is a competition. Or if you're dating to eventually come to a point where you say, no, this is the person that I really want to have a long-term relationship, then that's not a competition.
It's still a competition because you picked that person over other people who were competing for you. Maybe The Bachelor and Bachelorette is so popular because it's a heightened version of our reality. Dating really is a competition show. If you think about it, I was talking to my girlfriend about this the other day. She was like, do you think the guy I'm seeing is dating other people right now? I said, yes. Why would he not be dating other people? You've gone on 3 dates.
Oh, no. Gone 3 dadates? Of course he's dating somebody else.
And she was like, what? Why? I was like, so are you. Everyone is dating other people until, of course, you are
no longer dating.
No longer, you're exclusive.
Exactly.
And that obviously takes a while, or it has to be a conversation or whatever, or it's just naturally evolves. But she was like, but then it's a competition. I don't want to compete with other girls. But that's what dating is. He's going out with other girls, and he's either going to pick them or he's going to pick you.
Yeah, but that's always been the case.
Of course.
I mean, that hasn't changed from when I was dating. You always had a choice of either liking this person or the other person that you were dating perhaps had other attributes that suited you in the long run better.
This is not something that has changed over time. I mean, it's
correct.
It's the big. Besides Adam and Eve, everyone has had a choice.
Exactly, and I honestly believe that this thing shows on TV all the worst sides of people's character. I don't think it's character building to be sitting there and choosing your mate on television. I mean, I know it's a reality show. I know it's for fun, but really it's not so much for fun if somebody's really going to end up with them. I don't know how many really end up with their mates from this program.
There's actually a high level of like marriage rate.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
I don't know the exact percentage.
All right. Well, that's something to look up because it would be interesting to see if they ever really do stay together. I know 1 or 2 have gotten married, and that's great. And I think it's
children.
And have children, which is the normal thing that people do once they get married and have a life together. But I just think it's so artificial that I'm not sure what the benefits are.
It says, I think.
We're Googling this. Good.
Yeah,
good. Let's find out the actual amount.
There's been 8 successful marriages, 5 current engagements
out of 20 seasons.
Out of 20 years.
Whatever it is, I think it's an interesting concept. I think it's these reality shows all show some of the worst sides of personal relationships and some of the nicest.
There's romantic, beautiful moments too. The same way you would want to watch any romance unfold on screen
except I'm not watching real people doing it. You're watching actors.
But what's the difference?
On screen. No, because this is supposedly not for a film. This is supposed to be real life that they're doing. And
we all know it's a Bachelor bubble. We're not we have to give the viewer credit. No viewer sitting at home saying, this is normal life.
Okay, good.
They're not. They know this is, of course, right? You sit down, you know you're watching a television show. You're watching a reality show. They're in a bubble. Nobody is living in a mansion with 30 men. That's not how it works. So we all know that.
But I think it sends out a bad message to 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds that this is what they should expect from a relationship. I don't think you do expect these kind of things from a real relationship.
Like, what do you think she was asking to
Well,
expecting?
I didn't watch it long enough. I don't know what was the final after they
so
all
basically,
introduced each other.
you have to next time you have to watch the whole thing.
Kissed for an hour.
Yeah.
So after an hour, I said, "Oh my God, I can't do this anymore."
Well, it's hard in the very beginning of the season because there's so many men, it gets confusing. At the end of the episode, they had a rose ceremony. You have to watch it next time because they give out a rose to each person that I think she eliminated 7 or 8 men.
Oh, she did.
And then she gave her first before the rose ceremony, she gives her first impression rose to one of the men who gave the best first impression. So basically the one she likes the best so far. Who do you think got it? Since you didn't finish,
I don't know. I have no idea. There was one guy that was a school teacher. I thought he was pretty good. I don't
remember who that was.
Who was it? Who got the rose?
Okay, do you remember his name was Greg? He was 27. He was the one, I don't know how far you made it, but like he gave her a necklace that like was made of pasta that his 3-year-old niece made.
I saw that.
He was cute.
Yeah, he was all right.
I thought like
she's too old. She's too old for him though.
She's a bit older than him. I like when he stepped out of the limo. He was like one of my top 2 or 3.
Okay, all right. I didn't find any of them appealing, but that's just me.
So she loved the cat guy.
The cat guy. Well, the cat guy was funny.
Yeah, she was like he has a sense of humor. She has a cat, so she loves cats.
All right, okay.
And we all thought she was going to give it to him, the first impression rose, but she gave it to Greg.
All right, but there'll be more guaranteed with this storyline. There's going to be more. The cat guy's not out yet, is he?
No.
All right, so there'll be a situation. They'll have a meow together or something. They'll do something together.
Of course.
It's going to be an interesting thing, I'm sure, for the people who like to watch this. For me, I had to put something on PBS. I had to turn that off.
That's your opinion.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on to some listener questions that we got sent this week. So one guy wrote in, this is kind of a specific story, so I'm going to sum it up. But he said his friend, so he's telling this about his friend. His friend went on a first date with a girl, and they each, had a few drinks. And then when the check came, she looked away. Like, she wasn't paying attention, looked behind her around the restaurant, didn't pay attention to the check. Usually, we've talked on this show before, I do the reach, which is you reach towards your bag as if you're picking up your wallet, but I'm never actually going to pick up my wallet. We've coined that as the reach. This now is the look away.
I think this could be in a Larry David episode.
Right?
This is definitely a
very
Larry
Curb
David.
Your Enthusiasm.
This is very, very Larry David. I think this girl is definitely not going to give this guy either her credit card or any cash.
Right.
So
well,
he better cough up the money. And if he
well, wait, let me finish the story. So right. he called her out on it.
Uh-oh. This is definitely not going to be a second date.
Well, he called her out on it, and it doesn't say how she reacted, but he ended up paying for it. Do you think he should have called her out though? I feel like
no, I think he just should have paid and then just never called her again.
Right. I mean, to say like, are you not going to pay is kind of.
Well, you know what? I don't know the circumstances, but the truth is, from her point of view, I think she was wrong. She should have at least offered. And from his point of view, once she didn't offer, he should just pay the bill and say, "I'm not." This isn't a girl for me.
Think you wouldn't, as a guy, you wouldn't go out with the girl again if she didn't even try to offer to pay?
Well, not depending on his financial circumstances. Some men really want to go Dutch until they're serious because they don't have the finances.
Let's say they have the finances.
Well, if they have the finances, most men will not ask the lady to pay.
They won't ask, of course. But I'm saying, like, do you think they would think it's rude if a girl didn't even offer? If they didn't even do the reach, if they did the look away.
I think if they did the look away, they would look away too.
Okay. That's the first part of this question. The second part is they ended up going back to his apartment, made out for a little bit, and then fell asleep. Then at 1:30, he woke up because her dog chewed his sneakers or something, and then she asked him to leave. and not sleep over. Is this fair? The friend wants to know.
Absolutely fair. First of all,
I agree.
Oh, we've agreed on something this morning.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. First of all, why they went back to her apartment, I have no idea.
Why would you do that after you? First of all, why would the girl do that after a guy called you out on trying to not pay?
Exactly. So far, this is the worst date I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So getting up at 1:30, realizing that he's still there, is the best thing she could do. Was ask him to leave, and hopefully he got up gracefully and said goodnight.
I totally agree. I think the guy was offended, he said. But like, it doesn't, I mean, why would he? It's not that late. If it was 4 a.m. that you woke up, I don't think I would say leave. That's a little, like, you're going to make someone in the middle of the night, you know what I mean? But 1:30, I mean, it's New York City. People are still out and about. Like,
they are still going out.
You can go
New York.
home.
The city never sleeps.
Yeah.
Go home.
I agree. Okay, next question. I've gone on a few dates with someone and I know that I like them. When should I delete my dating app?
Well, that's tricky. I wouldn't go on a dating app once you've met somebody you like. And then you got to play it out. You got to go to the end situation where it no longer is a good date. And you just don't look at your app. No one forces you to go look at your dating apps.
I completely disagree. I say you go on your dating app until there's a ring on your fucking finger. I think that why would you close yourself out to any other opportunities and waste your time with this person that might not work out?
Well, but hopefully the young man is building up a relationship with you and talking things through. Mm-hmm. I mean, just because you have a ring on your finger. But
let's say you did, by ring on your finger, obviously I'm exaggerating. I mean, until you're exclusively dating. But let's say like I went on one date with somebody and I'm like, I really like them. I already know that I really like them. So then what? I'm not going to date anyone else?
No, of course no. That one date is not a thing. But we're talking about hopefully after you've gone on several dates, mm-hmm. you've already talked to each other. I mean, if you're going out, there has to be a conversation. So you've spoken to each other about what expectations you have from one another. And if both of you agree to be sort of exclusive, I mean, we can't, this whole conversation with exclusive mm-hmm. Has so many ramifications. But if you've said, I'm going to be exclusive with this fellow, I'm not going to date anybody else until I want to see where this goes, if it's really a good relationship. If it doesn't go anywhere and you give yourself a time frame of 6 months or whatever works for you guys, if it doesn't go someplace, then say, listen, it's not moving in the right direction. I think we should start dating again and let's revisit if we really like each other several months down the road. At some point, somebody has to make a commitment. And if neither one is willing to make the commitment, then you have to move on. Life is too short and no one is getting any younger.
Okay, someone also wrote in that they've been seeing someone for a little bit and their birthday is coming up. Should they get them a birthday gift or only if they're exclusive? They're not boyfriend and girlfriend. They just have been dating for a little bit. Should they get a gift?
They should get a little gift. I mean, they don't have to get a monumental present, mm-hmm. but a book, flowers, candy, a card, a shirt, anything that's small that is not serious. Absolutely. A birthday is a birthday and it should be celebrated, and there's nothing wrong with exchanging gifts on a small level.
I'm really torn about this one. My instinct is to say I completely disagree. You should not be buying anyone a gift until they are your boyfriend or girlfriend. It's just creepy.
Oh, well, then you're getting creeped out over too many things. I used to get 1 million presents. I mean,
I just think that's a lot. That's what my gut says. That said, if you've been seeing someone for a while, I think doing something really small is fine, as you said, or something like kind of like funny, or sentimental, but don't like blow a lot of money on it. I would say like run it by a few of your friends first and like see what they say. Like if they think that it's too big of a gift or it looks like you put too much effort in, they'll tell you, because sometimes you can't like I've been in situations where I've been like so into someone and I do like the most personalized gift ever and it like is just too much.
Well, that was the wrong person. With the right person, he would have appreciated it, and it would have been fine. So I think it's very, very much about the person and judging the character.
You have to judge it. Okay, and now let's just finish it up with our 50s movie of the week.
Do we have anything on Bachelorettes?
I know, we were trying to think of something that related to, dating a lot of people. We picked Gigi. It's a 1958 film. It's
absolutely
a musical.
Beautiful. Marie Chevalier. It was and Leslie Caron. It was so beautiful. And the hero of the movie, as I recall, dated a million different women and was always in love and always giving lavish gifts. And it ended up.
Well, we don't want to spoil it for people. Can you explain
true
actually
love.
really?
True
yeah,
love.
It ended up in true love.
It was true love, but after a series of failed relationships.
Okay, guys, that was another great episode of Excuse My Grandma. Please check out our website, excusemygrandma.com. Follow us on Instagram at excusemygrandma and on TikTok at excusemygrandma. We've been getting millions of views on our videos.
Which is so funny. We're having the best time.
It's so fun, so please check us out. Write in your questions, DM us on Instagram because we want to hear from you. And we will see you next week.
Bye.